Welcome back to Caldy Do a Kickflip. I'm Caldy, thanks for dropping in. I wanted to check in and give you guys an update. To get started, there's a lot more details that I had to consider that I didn't realize I was gonna have to consider. Things I wasn't expecting, I don't know. I guess in the beginning I kind of felt like I'm gonna get a board and a helmet and go skate, but that is not quite the case. One of the things that I did discover I need to do that I started with already is exercise. I am way more out of shape than I realized I was. Like, I don't feel out of shape. I'm not always out of breath or anything like that. But when I went to do some simple lunges and squats and things like that, it wore me out pretty quickly. Oh, this is gonna be harder than I thought. On top of the exercise though, the next step in the process would be to get gear. I'm gonna need safety gear, I'm gonna need shoes, and I'm gonna need a board. For the safety gear, there's a lot of debate on what is actually needed. I know for certain I need to wear a helmet because at the very least I need to protect my head. But also when I was a teenager, like I mentioned before, I broke my arm by landing on it on the ground like this, so the wrist guards sound like a good idea. It just sounds like elbow pads and knee pads might be more comfortable if I do fall, or when I do fall, I suppose. So I'm gonna try those as well. It's gonna be a struggle. I'm a bigger guy, obviously. I have a giant head, so when I get the helmet, I'm gonna have to find something that is large enough. Lots of helmet companies make their largest helmets just slightly too small for my giant head. The knee pads, elbow pads, wrist guards, and everything seem to be made for people not quite as big as me as well. So we'll see. I'm gonna find what I can and see where we go. On top of the safety gear, the next step would be to buy a pair of shoes. And I could, I guess, just wear shoes that I already have, you know, some running shoes that I have. But according to what I've found online, what I wanna focus on is the sole of the shoe. There's two different types. There's vulcanized, there's cup soles. I don't really know what the difference is. One is supposed to be better for feel, vulcanized, I believe, and the cup soles are supposed to be a little more durable, but harder and take longer to break in. So I'm not real sure what I'll go with. I'll have to try some things out. I think it'll probably come down to what fits me best. What brand do I like? Currently I've got a pair of DCs that I wear casually. In high school I had a pair of Vans that I wore a lot. I've had other brands throughout the years, but I'm not real sure which brand I'll go with or what style I'll go with it, but we'll see. And then the final thing that I'll have to get is a board. So I thought, well, I'll just go to a sporting goods store, Walmart or something, and grab, you know, whatever board they have there on the rack. But after research, I found that for someone my size, my height, I probably want to put a little more effort into it. Kind of looked at the different parts of the board and got a little bit overwhelmed. The board itself, there's 5-ply maple and 7-ply maple, and I saw some that were bamboo. I saw some that were composite boards that had carbon fiber inserts between the layers to keep them stronger and everything, and started kind of looking at pricing on everything and found that a lot of folks online, or for someone my height and my weight, are recommending the ones that have the carbon fiber, but the more I looked into it, that's really for more advanced skaters that are doing bigger tricks. So I don't know, maybe we'll go with something a little less expensive. But what I did find is there are a lot of different brands that use similar board construction, which is the maple. The 7-ply maple, from what I can tell, should be enough for what I'm trying to do at this point. Maybe I'll upgrade later if I need to, but according to many sources that I found, the 7-ply maple is strong enough. So then it becomes, well, what about the other equipment? So there's trucks, there's wheels, there's bearings, there's bushings. And the main thing that I found is there are many options for each of those things. The wheels come in different hardnesses. Durometer, I believe is what they call it, is what they measure it with, depending on what your application is. If you're gonna be cruising on it, riding vert, doing street, or if you're just commuting to work and back, or whatever the case is, you can get different ones. Softer ones for more rough terrain, harder ones for, you know, slicker ramps and things like that. Things that will let you slide a little bit easier. Not real sure what's best for me at this point, because I don't know any of that, but I'm gonna keep looking into it. The bearings also, I believe, do matter. I don't know which ones are better, but I have a feeling that whatever bearings I start with are gonna end up getting replaced at some point, so we'll do a little bit more research on that. And then the main thing that I found would be helpful to make the board more applicable for someone my size is to change the bushings. Apparently they come with, like, I guess, average or medium bushings. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but those are the standard ones that come on like a complete deck that you would buy off the shelf. Those are usually pretty good for most people. For me, someone my height and my weight, a lot of folks recommend switching them out for hard bushings. So we might do that as well. I might try both and see if it really does make a difference. In the research that I've done so far, there are many options. You can go in and pick the deck that you want, pick the trucks, pick the wheels, pick the bearings, everything. Every part of the board, you can pick it yourself. My main concern was finding a company or a brand or a board that is gonna meet my needs. All right, so what did I decide? These might be right, might be wrong, might not work out, I don't know, but I did make some decisions. I was not planning on doing all of this so soon. I kind of expected this to take a little bit longer to get everything that I wanted, but turns out everything but the shoes I ended up ordering online for cost. I wanted to keep it down as low as I could, and the only thing that was more beneficial to get in person were the shoes. Okay, well, what shoes did I land on? Well, I had intentions of getting DCs because I've had casual DCs that I've liked, but I tried on a few different pairs and they just did not feel comfortable on my foot. They weren't wide enough in the arch for me. I don't know if that's common for people or if I just have wide, flat feet, which is quite possible, but didn't like the way they fit. We went to different stores, tried on some other brands that I didn't recognize, that I honestly don't remember their names, and then went to our local outlet mall and hit a Vans store that happened to have a sale and got a pair there. I did not expect Vans, haven't always been a fan of Vans, kind of felt like they were uncomfortable, but out of all the shoes that I tried on, these were the most comfortable. Felt like they cushioned my feet, they felt like they protected my ankles, and they were cost effective. Me and my wife actually got 2 pairs of shoes and walked out of the store for less than $40, which is unusual. So without further ado, the shoes. So these are a pair of Vans. They are, I believe, new schools, mids. So they're not lows, they're not highs. They're kind of in the middle. So they got the cushion here on the ankles, and then I believe these are the vulcanized soles. Not positive because I really didn't understand all of that, but I believe that's what we've got there. Next on the list would be pads. So let's get those in here. So as you can see, they came from Amazon because that was the most cost-effective way I could find them. They are a brand that I'm not familiar with, and I have not opened them or tried them on yet. We'll do that here in a little bit, but they are, however you say that, Thorsby. I don't know if that's right. Somebody's probably making fun of me right now just for trying to say it. But anyways, that's the pads, again, from Amazon. So we'll try those on here in a few minutes and see what's going on. But right now, I want to show you the helmet. As you can see, the helmet is also from Amazon. I was able to find a few brands that were big enough for my head, supposedly, but not in the stores. I went to a few different local stores that have helmets, and no one, surprisingly, actually not surprisingly, has adult skateboard helmets for people with giant heads. And when I say giant head, I mean specifically like this hat that I'm wearing right now is 7 3/4, and that's probably generous. It's probably closer to 8 as far as my hat size, but this brand happens to be that size. But I have a giant head. If you've ever met me in person and you've tried to put on one of my hats, you'll know that I have a giant head. Also, so does my brother-in-law, so I hope he watches this. But anyways, here's the helmet. It is a gray helmet. It's got extra pads you can change out for a custom fit, Outdoor Master, extra large. So we'll try that on here in just a little bit as well. And then last but certainly not least is probably the thing I am most excited about. The board. So I started out looking for boards as a complete board, and then I thought, well, I'll do a custom board. Found some sites that do custom boards. Prices kept going up and up and up as you made them more custom. I did find this site. CCS is the company I ordered from. I'm not certain if it is California Cheapskates, if that's their official name or if that's where they got their acronym from, or if it's just something they came up with after the fact, but it's on some of their boards. But CCS is the company I found where I could order a custom board. But again, the price went up. It was not budget friendly for what I was trying to do because I just didn't want to spend too much. Looked all over the place, found some other options. Decided that a 7-ply maple deck would be good enough for me. Standard trucks, standard wheels and everything would work out. The only thing that I really needed to focus on customizing at this point would possibly be the bushings, which ordered some of those too. So we'll see if we need medium or if we need the hard, but the budget was more than I wanted to pay as far as making a custom board. So I looked elsewhere and I kept coming back to them because they were the most reasonably priced as far as what I wanted and what I needed, and it was still going to be relatively expensive. But after a bunch of research, I actually found some of their boards complete on Amazon and ordered one of them. So this is just one of their Amazon boards that comes with everything already on it and built. I have not looked at it yet, so I don't know what it looks like. I wanted to wait and do this here on video. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and take a look at it, and we'll see if it is what I expected. And here we are. It's got some wrap on it. It's got a skate tool, some stickers, and all the specs on it, but it is yellow board. It's got pink logo on it and black grip tape and white wheels. So there we have it. I'll take the wrapper off. Board and logo and everything. So we'll see. I won't be able to try it out right away. It's gonna take me a little bit to get an opportunity to ride it. Can't do it today. So tune in next time for that. Right now, I am still sore from like the 20 squats that I did. That was, I mean, it was nothing, but I am still barking from it. And that was like 2 or 3 days ago when I started that. But I'm gonna keep it that, kind of get my strength up. We're gonna get on this as soon as possible and do a little bit more research on how to ride it, make sure I'm doing it right, make sure I'm standing on it correctly, things like that. So next time, hopefully we'll have a video of my first time on the actual board. This has been Caldy Do a Kickflip. Thanks again for dropping in.